If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you're getting ready to apply to vet school or you're thinking about it. I know when I was applying, I looked at a bunch of videos and I feel like there aren't enough out there. I bet you realized you haven't perfected your personal statement, and I've been there. I've been there, okay? And I know it's done. I just want to say I don't think there's such thing as a perfect personal statement. There are definitely elements of a personal statement that vet schools are looking for, but just stay true to yourself and remember why you're doing what you're doing. When I was an applicant, it really helped me to see a bunch of different essays, and don't read just one. Make sure you're reading at least 30, even if it's for law school, medical school, grad school. Look at all the personal statements you can to really get an idea of what to look for. So I want to read my personal statement, but before we begin, here's a disclaimer, okay? I was accepted to veterinary school, but it doesn't mean that it's because of my essay. I don't know how the admissions committee looks at essays. I don't know their criteria, so just keep that in mind. As you're listening to my personal statement, make sure it's still true to you, and do not write your statement with mine in mind. Some tips I have for writing your personal statement, I think, would be to start as early as possible, but do not force it. Start by writing about yourself. Personally, I am a low stat applicant, so I feel like my essay is what really helped tie my whole entire story together. If it weren't for the opportunity to write my personal statement, I don't know if I would have gotten accepted, and I'm really proud of my personal statement. I'm hoping someone out there can listen to my personal statement and be inspired. Okay, so here goes my personal statement. The day I dropped out of college, I sat in my car and rehearsed my excuses to convince my parents I had not made a mistake. As the youngest daughter of Mexican immigrant parents, their expectations of me were high. They had much to be proud of, after all. I was the first in my family to attend college and about to graduate with her business degree. I was the star in their movie about the American dream, scripted by the sacrifices they made. What they didn't know was that their movie star was about to walk through the door and rewrite their script. I stared back at them with sweaty palms as they barraged me with questions. I explained to them that this decision was not sudden, and I walked them through what led to my choice. My part-time job during my years in college was at a local grooming shop as a pet groomer. My work with animals as a groomer brought me more joy than balance sheets ever could. Despite their doubt, I knew that even superhero movies always had a story of redemption. I learned through their personal, unstoppable model that sacrifices are driven by courage, passion, and focus. I continued my work as a groomer and used my education to make it a successful business. My villains ranged from fleas to mats, and I fought them to the best of my ability. However, these issues were the extent of what I could do, as my superhero cape was not big enough to care for the entire animal. I reported any health concerns I observed to the owner, i.e. ear infections, and advised him to have these concerns evaluated by a veterinarian. These animals were either healed or doing substantially better on their next visit, but my curiosity only grew. I realized I wanted to be a part of their health in a greater capacity. Therefore, I decided to become a veterinarian. My first job as a veterinary assistant allowed me to understand the complex skills and knowledge successful veterinarians possess. I learned important skills throughout my time here, ranging from client education to comforting families who just lost their pet. However, the biggest inspiration of all was not just what I learned at the hospital, but the location of the hospital itself. We serve a low-income community that is predominantly Hispanic. Being one of the few assistants to know Spanish, I realized how critical it was to be able to provide access to care in my client's native language. As a companion animal veterinarian, I want to provide care in underserved areas and erase the communication barriers that many Hispanic populations face. My experience and skills would offer a much-needed addition to the veterinary field. My resilience to fight uphill battles without discouragement proves that I am driven and self-motivated to succeed. Most of all, I want to mentor others with similar backgrounds and grow a cast of veterinarians with many passionate and skillful actors, so that together we can all star in the greatest film of all time. So that's my personal statement. I hope this helps someone out there. Let me know if you want to know anything else. I can make a video maybe about my entire VEMCAS application, my GPAs. I am 100% open to that because I feel like there's, again, not enough people who discuss GPAs or their story, what they did to prepare, to apply. I am very non-traditional, and I also had a 3.1 overall GPA. 3.1. If I can do it, you can do it. I raised a 2.3. That could be later. But another thing that I really recommend is having a lot of people look over your essays. I had maybe 10 or 12 different people look at my essays, and I'm so excited. I moved to Davis in a month, and I start vet school in August, and I just can't believe it's happening. Oh, and this essay I applied to 7 schools, and this essay got me into 3. I was accepted to Davis, Colorado, and Washington, and then I withdrew from Western, and Ohio, Oregon, Arizona rejected me. Okay, goodbye.